I got another food for thought for y'all. I'm going to dub this and say there are no benefits for fiancés. Well, what do you mean by that, TJ? I'm glad you asked. Me and Mr. Randolph, from the time we met to the time we got engaged, had been dating for 6 months. So from the time we met to the time we got married, we had been together for 10 months. Well, we already had our wedding date set for August of 2019, but I decided, well, he asked me what I wanted for my birthday, which was several months earlier. I told him I wanted to be his wife for my birthday. So we went to the courthouse and got married in May and still had our wedding in August. Unbeknownst to us, my daughter, who was also engaged, had a wedding set for June of 2019, but her and her fiance then they got married the September prior and then had their wedding in June of 2019. And the reason they did that, for many reasons, again, insurance, tax purposes, benefits, and all that kind of stuff, because both of them were working. And again, there are no benefits for fiancés. So yeah, you may say, well, TJ, if somebody gets a life insurance policy, they can get a life insurance policy on their fiancé. And that is true. But when we talk about pensions, retirement, other things that, not to mention life insurance and all those other things, there are no benefits for fiancés. You have to be a spouse. So the reason I'm sharing this with you all is that if you are engaged and you have a wedding that is planned out a ways, I would encourage you to go ahead and go to the courthouse, go ahead and get married legally. So if God forbid something happened before that wedding, you are a covered spouse, entitled to benefits, and then you have your wedding as planned. So that worked for me. I encourage you, because again, there are no benefits for fiancés. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I think one of the things I'm learning in being in these social media spaces is that words can be taken out of context and meaning can be misconstrued. So, I guess it's not necessary for me to explain it, but I will. Yes, there are no benefits for fiancés, but don't rush into it if you're looking for benefits. I don't think anyone, well, I'm not going to say anyone because anything is possible, are looking for benefits, but I will tell you what I know. I will tell you that I know someone personally who had been engaged for several years, and they had been together longer than me and Mr. Randolph had been together, and they had their wedding planned. And that person, the man in the relationship, went out one day and didn't come back. Yeah. And maybe I think about it a little bit differently because I am older. I wasn't thinking about it as much when I was younger. But I would submit to you, when you invest your time in loving someone and building something, there's nothing wrong with wanting to secure a future in the event that one of you passes away unexpectedly. No, by no means am I suggesting that someone rush into something for benefits, but I am suggesting that people take into consideration life, because life happens. And in case in point, I dated someone for about 4 years, and it hadn't dawned on me, because although this person was legally separated, they were still. And because he was legally married, had something happened to him, I would have invested in a relationship for 4 years, and the person that he was still legally married to would have been able to reap the benefits of my investment. And someone say, well, that sounds kind of selfish. I don't think so. But no, am I submitting that someone should rush into a marriage because they want benefits? Absolutely not. But I also would say, don't be a fool and prolong it, especially if you all know that you want the same things. like my daughter did with with my son-in-law, and like I did with my husband. The wedding was already planned. We just got married legally earlier. So I hope that clarifies it.